Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Have you ever done that thing at 3 in the morning where your brain suddenly decides it's the perfect time to calculate how long you can survive if you lose your job tomorrow? You start doing mental math like you're in a survival movie. Rent, food, phone bill, internet, insurance, coffee addiction. And then you think, yeah, I'm one bad email away from stress. If that feels familiar, you're not alone. And it's exactly why $2,000 a month is the real freedom number. Not 10,000, not a million, 2,000. Because $2,000 a month doesn't make you rich. It makes you unbreakable. And those are very different things. Here's the problem. Social media taught us that freedom looks like luxury. But real freedom looks like calm. It looks like not checking your bank app before ordering food. It looks like not panicking when your boss says, "Can we talk later?" It looks like choosing instead of begging. Most people don't actually want a yacht. They want control. They want space. They want to breathe. And that's what 2,000 quietly gives you. Think about it. If tomorrow you woke up and magically had 2,000 coming in every single month, guaranteed, how would your life change? Not your Instagram, your real life. You might not quit your job, but you'd stop being scared of it. You might not move to Bali, but you'd stop feeling trapped in traffic. You might not start a business, but you'd start thinking about it seriously. That shift alone is worth more than any sports car. Now let's compare two people. Alex earns $7,000 a month from salary. Sounds great. But he has no savings, no investments, and no passive income. Every dollar comes from his job. If his job disappears, so does his life. Lucas earns $5,000 from salary and $2,000 from passive income, lower salary, higher freedom. If his job disappears, he still eats, he still sleeps, he still has time to think. Same total income, completely different psychology. Alex negotiates from fear. Lucas negotiates from choice. Alex stays late to look valuable. Lucas leaves early because he already is. Alex feels rich on payday and poor 2 weeks later. Lucas feels stable every single day. This is why income doesn't equal freedom. Structure does. Here's another truth nobody tells you. Financial freedom doesn't start when you can buy more things. It starts when you can refuse things. Refuse overtime. Refuse bad deals. Refuse toxic environments. Refuse panic. 2,000 a month is the line where your life stops being fragile. And yes, I know what you're thinking. 2,000 isn't enough to live. And you're right. In most cities, it won't give you luxury, but it will give you survival. And survival plus choice is power. Let's be honest, most people don't need freedom to be fancy. They need freedom to stop stressing. Now let me tell you about Emma. Emma works in HR. Nothing flashy. She invested slowly into ETFs and dividend stocks for 12 years. No crypto miracles. No trading YouTube thumbnails with Lamborghinis. Just boring monthly investments. She now earns about $2,050 a month from her portfolio. She didn't quit her job. She reduced her hours. She stopped saying yes to everything. She started traveling slowly instead of once a year. Her life didn't explode. It softened. She told me something that stuck with me. She said, "I don't feel rich. I feel safe, and safety is a luxury nobody talks about." Now let's talk about the math. 2,000 a month equals 24,000 a year. If your portfolio yields 4% annually, you need roughly 600,000 invested. That sounds scary. Until you realize nobody wakes up with 600,000. They build it over years. 100 a month turns into 500. 500 turns into 1,200. 1,200 turns into 2,000. And each step changes your mind. At 100 a month, you feel hopeful. At 500, you feel responsible. At 1,200, you feel confident. At 2,000, you feel untouchable. Not rich, untouchable. Because now your life decisions are no longer emotional. They're strategic. Here's the funny part. People who make 2,000 a month passively rarely tell others. Because it doesn't look impressive. Nobody claps for boring income. But that boring income quietly funds their peace. Now let's talk about the trap. Most people chase income, not freedom. They say, "I just need to earn more." But earning more usually comes with spending more. Bigger house, better car, more subscriptions, more stress disguised as success. That's why people earning 12,000 a month can feel more trapped than people earning 6,000. Freedom doesn't grow with income. It grows with margin. And 2,000 a month creates margin. Margin is what lets you think long term. Margin is what lets you invest instead of react. Margin is what lets you say no without apologizing. Let me tell you about Kevin. Kevin makes $9,000 a month. He has a $3,500 rent, $900 car payment, and more subscriptions than Netflix knows what to do with. He feels rich on Instagram. He feels poor in his mind. He told me, "I make more than I ever imagined, but I feel more stressed than when I made half." That's lifestyle inflation. That's the invisible enemy. Now compare him to Mark. Mark makes $6,500 a month, lives on $4,000, invests the rest. He doesn't look rich. He feels powerful. Same city, same age, different philosophy. The difference isn't money, it's direction. Now here's where humor meets reality. Most people think freedom feels exciting, but real freedom feels boring. And boring is beautiful. Boring is waking up without financial anxiety. Boring is not checking your bank account 5 times a day. Boring is not arguing with your partner about money. Boring is sleeping like a human being, and boring is exactly what $2,000 a month buys you. You stop obsessing over coupons. You stop chasing trends. You stop jumping into random investments because someone on TikTok said, "Trust me, bro." You start thinking like a long-term adult with emotional stability, which is honestly the rarest personality trait on the internet. Now let's talk about why 2000 specifically, because it covers basic survival in most places. And once survival is handled, your brain switches from fear mode to planning mode. When your brain is in fear mode, it wants comfort. When your brain is in planning mode, it wants growth. That switch changes everything. People who reach 2000 a month start asking different questions. How do I protect this? How do I grow this? How do I make this stable? Not how do I survive this month? And that shift is where wealth actually begins. Here's the part nobody warns you about. When you start building passive income, your friends won't understand. They'll say it's slow. They'll say it's boring. They'll say you're missing out. Then 10 years later, they'll ask how you did it. Now let's be brutally honest. If you're watching this thinking, "I'm nowhere close," that's normal. Everyone who is free once felt late. But the people who become free aren't special. They're consistent. They invest when it's boring. They hold when it's scary. They stay when it's slow. They don't quit when it's silent. That's the real secret. 2000 a month is not a money goal. It's a discipline goal. Now here's something funny. People say, "I want financial freedom," but then they spend every dollar on things that look like freedom instead of things that create freedom. They buy the lifestyle before they buy the system, and then they wonder why they feel stuck. Freedom is built first, enjoyed later, not the other way around. Now imagine your life 5 years from now. Not rich, not famous, just calm. No financial emergencies, no panic, no paycheck countdown, no Sunday night anxiety. That future version of you doesn't need millions. They need structure. They need patience. They need systems, and they need to start. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. If you don't start building passive income, your life will always depend on someone else's decision. Your boss, your company, the economy, the market. But when you build even small passive income, you own a piece of your future. You're no longer renting your life. You're slowly buying it back. And yes, it takes time. And yes, it's boring. And yes, nobody claps in the beginning. But nobody claps for foundations. They clap for buildings, even though buildings collapse without foundations. Now let me say something gently. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be fast. You just need to not stop. $50 a month, $100 a month, $200 a month. That's how freedom starts, not with motivation, with commitment. And if you ever feel late, remember this. The only people who are truly late are the ones who never start. Now before this ends, I want you to imagine one moment. You wake up, check your phone, and you see your passive income notification. It's not life-changing, but it's real. And for the first time, you realize your future is no longer theoretical. That moment is what 2000 a month is built from. Not one big decision, thousands of small boring ones. And if this video helped you see money differently, if it made you feel calmer instead of more stressed, smarter instead of more confused, I want you to hit the subscribe button. Because this channel isn't about getting rich fast. It's about getting free slowly and staying that way. And I promise you, 2000 a month is closer than you think. You just have to start walking toward it. This is Mindshift Theory, and the biggest shift always starts here.